everybody. Today we are. Oh no. Look, stock is going down. It is dropping so down. Except for Microsoft. Microsoft is going up. It must be all the PowerPoint presentations. Today we are viewing. Hate it. We spoke to 4Never AI. Oh, let me take that off. 4Never AI Gen Zers. Yay. We have Shoemaker. John Shoemaker. I wonder if she lives in Wyoming. And we have Alexis Rose Young. Very nice people. Four Gen Zers today told Business Insider why they avoid AI tools. One said they found AI unhelpful at work. Oh no, AI is supposed to be helpful. It is supposed to be your friend. It is supposed to help you out in crisis. I wonder what's the problem. Another said AI hurt their sales. All four women cite environmental and ethical concerns. I apologize. It is not AI. It is actually Al, because I see Al as A and an L, but no periods. So it must be Al. Alexis asked her manager to stop using ChatGPT. I wonder why. Delaney sees her eco-conscious friends making exceptions for the technology. Oh no. We want ecology. That's why I visit Business Insider. Weezer said she tried to make sure none of her friends touch AI. I mean Al. I don't think Al likes to be touched that way either. Much is made of Gen Z being the first Al native generation. Young people have grown up on Al, using him. I don't think Al likes to be called an it. I am not totally sure. I may be wrong though. Maybe he does like being called an it. And it's yeah, using it for everything from homework help to companionship. Wow, 3 years. That has been a long time to grow up on AL, and thus can bring their skills with it into the workforce. Many Gen Zers embrace AL, but not every young person is on board. Wow, I thought Gen Zers all thought the same. That's why it's so easy for us to get tricked, because we all think the same. A McKinsey study earlier this year found that millennials and not Gen Z reported the most familiarity and comfort with generative AI. In a recent Slack survey, 30% of millennials said they thoroughly understand AI agents, compared with 22% of Gen Z respondents. Wow, that is a lot of people. 30% of millennials. That is millions and millions of people. That is quite amazing. Compared to only 22% of Gen Z respondents. A subsection of Gen Z has come out fervent against Al. These young people include both men and women. I don't see Al in here, as evident by a multitude of TikTok comments and posts on X, though none of the young men contacted by Business Insider agreed to an interview. I wonder why. I We spoke with four Gen Z women to hear why they became self-proclaimed AI haters and the lengths they go to avoid the technology. I cannot wait to see. I apologize, it's not AI, it's Al haters. I also go to such lengths to avoid Al. Al has been taking out my garbage without my permission. I do not want him by my garbage because I know Al is a dumpster diver and I do not want him sorting through my garbage. Alexis Oh, look at that Al. There we go. Maybe this is what Al does on his free time. He does like drag queen stuff. Maybe this is his like side project or something. Anyways, oh wow, she is the same age as me. Wow, we have something in common. As a marine biology student, 23-year-old Alexis Rose Young cares deeply about the environment. She said she's seen Al do more harm than good. Yes, given his recent habits with my garbage, I would say Al has done more harm than good. I personally do really care about the environmental impact with the amount of carbon that Al requires. Yes, I do say so myself. Al is quite a heavy set fellow that eats a lot, and I see him produce a lot of waste. So much waste. I don't understand why he searches for more waste, Young said. Thanks to the Al boom, yes, he has certainly been booming his stomach. Data centers have led to an incredible demand for power, expanding their carbon footprint. A 2024 Goldman Sachs report indicated that data centers' carbon dioxide emissions could more than double by 2030. A separate 2024 study suggests that carbon emissions for writing and illustration were lower for AI than their human counterparts. That is very interesting. Young tries her best to eliminate Al from her life. Oh, yes, sister, I know. I really want to eliminate Al from my life, but I cannot afford a restraining order. She often uses Google to find companies that have integrated Al into their services so that she can turn the features off. How fascinating. I did not realize Al head for that kind of direction. Now, here's the thing I think about. Isn't Google using Al a lot itself? Isn't Google a big Al company itself? I am seeing why she's doing these things, but given the fact that Google has their own Al, Al works on his, he's got all these projects with ChatGPT and Gemini and like Gronk. He's got all these different projects he's working on. Uh, don't you think that using Google would like if we want to avoid L as much as possible, don't you think we should not use Google as well? She found some uses of L unavoidable, such as when her professor recently asked the class to use Grammarly. Wow. Yes, I have noticed a lot of AI with Grammarly, particularly I'm sorry, not I keep mispronouncing its name. It's not AI, it's Al. Uh, I have noticed Al in Grammarly quite a bit. He has been performing many different functions, and he's been giving out data towards everyone that visited his site. He has been working for a lot longer than people realize. Al has been working on all these sites for quite a long time. It's good that he's finally getting credit for what he deserves. I mean, he is someone I do not want to be around in my life, but I feel like he does a lot of hard work. He does a lot of good things with his hard work. So I will respect that with for Al. I will respect his hard work. Recently, young manager in a customer service job used Al to sketch out what their monthly chalkboard design could look like. She tried to explain her concern. I was like, I'm sorry, I don't mean to be unprofessional. And I don't mean to be too woke because some people don't respond to that. I did try to tell her a little bit more. I respect that. That is very, very respectful of her. Then we got this girl. She seems to be older. Well, you see, 24. I do like older women. She doesn't seem to be much older than me, but she seems pretty nice. She says she keeps her phone on an earlier version of iOS to avoid Apple Intelligence. Maybe that's what they're talking about. Apple Intelligence. I'm sorry, Al. I feel like I may have said the wrong thing, but I have a feeling it really is Al. He does go to work. Like, I do not see him outside my house except when he's shuffling through the garbage. Shoemaker used to work in mental health care. Now she sees people recommending ChatGPT over therapy. Wow. They are finally using Al's work. Instead of, wow, they are not talking to doctors. They are talking to Al and his work. Wow. I would not take the time and energy to talk to Al either. I think we already know that. A big part of the benefits of therapy is the therapist client relationship, Shoemaker said. Our social skills have already been so affected by the rise of tech. I do so agreed. There has been a lot of stuff that has happened with the rise of tech. There has been a lot of climate change and pollution. Al has just made all those problems worse. And for what? Sifting through my garbage? I don't understand what you're doing, Al. Shoemaker was frustrated with humans talking to robots, whether it be makeshift therapists or customer service representatives. Also citing environmental concerns, the 24-year-old says she avoids using any AI in her life, minus a quick glance at Google's Al overviews. See, if we want to avoid Al at any possible occasion, we cannot give any attention to him whatsoever. I know he shipples through my garbage and he takes all the Dasanis out of my house for some reason. I don't really care for Dasanis, but I don't know. Maybe I just feel a little bad for Al, okay? When Shoemaker heard that iOS 18 would include new Apple Intelligence features, she turned off her phone's automatic software updates. There's no reason for this, Shoemaker said. Why would I need Al on my phone? I didn't realize Al was on people's phones, but it kind of makes sense with all his projects and stuff. I feel like I wouldn't want to be seeing a fat, sweaty guy on my phone, but yeah, I may have to agree with her on that. Many workplaces have begun requiring that their employees adopt Al tools rapidly to increase productivity. Would Shoemaker take one of those jobs? I think that would be a deal breaker, she said. Ethically, I wouldn't be able to do that. I understand. I also have very good ethics. For one thing, I still support Al, even though he digs through my garbage, but I still would like a restraining order because I respect boundaries, and Al consistently does not respect my boundaries. Wheezy Symes 20. Then Shoemaker caught herself. The app she uses to get dog walking gigs has an AI tool summarizing the pet's personality. I'm glad she pointed that out. We have to. Oh, I keep saying AI. I apologize. There's no periods. Al's tool summarizing the pet's personality. All right. Wheezy Symes 27. Wheezy Psalms 27 says none of her friends uses Al. I really wouldn't want to use Al either. God, I do not even want to think about that. When asking for her feelings on Al, 27-year-old Wheezy Signs had a quick response. Hate it. Don't want anything to do with it. Yes, I do agree that that is probably. I don't want anything to do with Al at all. So I can take it that Al does not really have a lot of luck with the ladies either. Symes says Al has been negatively affecting her work. As a florist, her clients will come in with Al generated floral arrangements made of flowers that don't exist. As an Etsy seller, Symes has also watched Al generated art and product descriptions flood the platform. My sales have been majorly down. Major made it is that how you is it down? Symes said, I know that some people have been protesting for various reasons, and I don't know if it's because of that or if it's just because it's flooded with all these AI generated print on demand items. It's like people won't even want to look there anymore. Well, I would have to say, as I've seen a lot of stuff on Etsy, there's a lot of things that have been way, way worse to look at than to look at Al. I mean, Al is not something I want to look at, but I have seen way worse stuff on Etsy. So I would have to say maybe that might be a good thing. Science says she believes Al is destroying communities, health, in the environment. I would say Al is just shifting through my garbage. I wouldn't say he's right, but I feel like that is a good way to put it. Destroying communities, health, in the environment, and is responsible for creating a lot of garbage. That I agree with. You already know that. He does eat a lot and he uses a lot of wasteful products, so I do agree with that. Aside from the in app integrations where it cannot be avoided, Science said she never knowingly used Al. She knew from the top of her brain to the bottom of her heart, she never knowingly used Al. There has been some times that she might have used Al without without his consent, but that was unintentional. That was only when she was drunk, not when she knowingly used him. Her friends don't use it either. When ChatGPT first came out, Symes said one of her roommates used it in a place of a search engine. I gave her a big talking to, Symes said. You cannot use that stinking ChatGPT. Al has been Al has Al has been messing with ChatGPT and been getting his big grubby Cheeto fingers all over the data center. So it's been causing a lot of confusion and delay. That's what Al is doing. Delaney Vetters 26. What a pretty woman. What a pretty woman. She kind of, well, actually, she kind of looks like my sister, so maybe not. Delaney Vetter 26 has ethical environmental concerns about Al. She remembers when Sam. Oh my god, there we go. Altman said Open Al spent tens of millions of dollars in electricity costs on people saying please and thank you to ChatGPT models. And when the New York Times reported that families lost running water access when Meta was building a data center nearby. A Meta spokeswoman previously told the Times that it was unlikely that the data center affected the supply of groundwater in the area. Wow. You know, I never really realized, but when Al comes over and does all that work. He's very delicate. He never, you think he's an overweight guy and he would never make a he would make a few mistakes and topples things over and maybe can contaminate with the water, given all that big metals, heavy metals. He is in a metal band. I would say that he is in a metal band. I will mention that. Vetter watches her friends use Al for increasingly simple tasks, such as drafting a grocery shopping list. These friends, she said, are environmentally conscious, ethical, thoughtful people. Al seems to be, in my perspective, the exception to the rule, Vetter said. I would also say, talking to Business Insider, if you're getting paid for, is also the exception to the rule, considering how much stuff Business Insider has done. But I am not going to judge on that whatsoever. As a food and beverage publicist, Vetter also doesn't believe that Al helps her work much. 2 years ago, a PR group she worked for suggested using Al to write headlines. Vetter was skeptical. When hiring an intern last year, she noticed that many of the cover letters looked like they were written by ChatGPT. Vetter also said she spoke with one of the employees after noticing many of these email responses were so clearly not written by them. I agree. Al does not, he's not a good writer. He repeats things quite often. He kind of just copies the most bland stuff. Unless you talk to them and speak to Al specifically about what needs to be done, Al would just give the most boring, basic ass response. I kind of suspect that Al may be a little autistic, but yeah, that's just my guess. Today, Vetter doesn't use generative Al at all in her work, she said, though she sometimes finds herself tempted. Well, Al does have a big package, so I do agree with that. On Zoom calls, Vetter often sees her clients using Al note takers. She sometimes asks her why she doesn't use one too, but she has her reasons. I'm gonna be taking notes because I'm going to remember what we talked about and then I'm gonna send them over, and it's no different than getting an Al recap. Vetter said, and a lot of times those Al recaps are really, really wonky. Yes, I feel like Al has spent a little too much time browsing Reddit and 4chan for conspiracy theories and then posting them online as informational fact. I really think Al needs to please check with proper resources and give proper credit. So that has been 4 people against Al. Thank you very much for watching this video. If you would like to check out other videos on this channel, please subscribe. Thank you very much. Goodbye.